What was your job in the military?
Well, I was trained to be in supply. Well, it was a hot day. I was busting tires, and they asked if anybody knew how to type, and I raised my hand.
Hello, my name's Blake Furman. I'm the founder of Veterans Navigation Network, a local nonprofit in Billings, Montana that works to help veterans transition from military service to civilian life. Today, I get the opportunity to talk to Steve, a Vietnam-era veteran, and his lovely wife, Carol. Thanks for being here today. So we'll jump right into it, Steve. I mentioned you're a Vietnam-era veteran. Can you kind of talk about when you joined the military and how you became a military veteran?
I was actually drafted into the Army, but I never got into the Army. We were in the induction center, and they wanted 5 volunteers. Well, nobody volunteers for the Marine Corps. And so needless to say, I was one of the 5, but they flew me then from Fargo, North Dakota to San Diego.
So thought you were going to be in the Army, ended up in the Marines.
Yes.
One of 5 in your draftee group. And what year was that?
That was in 1969, February.
February 1969. Yeah. And how long were you in the military for?
I got out in November of 1970. About 21 months.
Yeah, so 21 months. Did you ever end up in Vietnam?
No, I did not. I went to school in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, and we were able to get back to Camp Pendleton in California, so that's where I retired from also.
Sure. And what was your job in the military?
Well, I was trained to be in supply. Well, it was hot day. I was busting tires, and they asked if anybody knew how to type, and I raised my hand. And so I sat in an air-conditioned billet and did driver's license for the Marine Corps. And then I was transferred then to another company.
Another company? What did you do for them?
So for them, I did all undesirable and discharges, mostly undesirable, but some of them were worse than that too.
Sure, sure. And Carol, were you and Steve married at the time, or how did you all meet?
Well, we met when we were 3 years old.
3 years old.
Yeah.
Where at?
Bagley, Minnesota.
Bagley, Minnesota. And so didn't get married at 3. What year did you all get married?
September of '69.
Yeah.
That was a test.
It was a test.
So September of '69, and you enlisted what month?
I was January or February of '69.
'69. So married during service, and I guess can you talk a little bit about what that was like, Carol, from your perspective, the military spouse, especially with Vietnam kind of going on, and what was going through your mind during all that?
Actually, it was okay. I mean, we had a very little apartment, but we had a lot of people that liked to stay at our apartment, so we were the go-to.
Yeah.
Which was fun, actually.
Yeah. You mentioned, we talked a little bit earlier about, wasn't a whole lot of take-home pay as a private in the Marine Corps, so money was a little bit of a struggle, but you guys made it.
We made it.
You made it, and had a little apartment, even had a swimming pool, is that right?
Yeah, in the middle of it, yeah.
Yeah. So is that what led to it being the popular spot?
Well, we were one of the few that lived off base, and so that's why a lot of my constituents came to our place, and we had a car.
Yeah, car, swimming pool. I mean,
Can't
had
beat
it all.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, you got out of the military in 1970,
Yep.
1970.
Yep.
And I guess, did you try to get connected with benefits right then? Did you wait a while? Talk about that a little bit.
I got out early to go to school. So after school, we moved back to northern Minnesota from California. And I thought at that time that it was all automatic to be covered, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
So I did not get involved with getting benefits other than the schooling.
Yeah, you actually had participated in a program for kind of rapid employment at the time, is that right?
They had a Veterans Emergency Employment Act from Vietnam, and so I was able to get into a school district as a transportation director and a manager.
And from there, so I mean, you thought the benefits were automatic, found out that wasn't the case. How long did it take you after getting out of the service for you to connect to your benefits?
Well, I got out in 1970, and I didn't get benefits until 2023.
Yeah. And that wasn't for lack of trying, was it?
No.
Oh my gosh.
How many times do you think you'd approached the VA or anybody? I know you'd mentioned reaching out to others for help as well. How many times do you think you tried?
Oh my gosh. Many, many. I even went to the Veterans Service in northern Minnesota, and he wasn't able to help. And then I talked to some people here in Billings, and they tried. And then I ended up with Mike Foose.
Yeah. Mike Foose, our resource navigator for Veterans Navigation Network. So how did you all meet?
It was by accident at a bar.
Yeah, accident at a bar. You know, that's one of the very cool things about Billings, Montana, but just Montana in general. You know, 10% of our state is made up of veterans. And once you add the family members into, you know, who lives with veterans, it's like 30% of our state either is a veteran or a family member of a veteran. So there's a lot of us in the state of Montana. And so, you know, you never know when you're going to run into one.
Yep.
I think that's one of the benefits of being a veteran in Montana. But you ran into Mike at the bar, and what happened there?
Well, he told us to come and see him. Well, my wife said, "There's no way in heck that you're going to get anything done, Mike." Well, he said, "You come and see me, we'll see."
Yeah.
And from there, he connected me with Lindsay Berge, the Veteran Service Officer here in Billings.
Yeah.
And things transpired from there.
Yeah. And so you weren't a believer at first, is that right, Carol? And that was from experience.
Yep.
I mean, you guys
I
had tried.
was a doubter. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm very glad that you all connected with Mike, and were able to get connected to Lindsay. So Lindsay's the Montana Veterans Affairs Division Veteran Service Officer, like you mentioned, and she's been great in helping a lot of vets connect to those benefits. And that's really what Veterans Navigation Network does, and why I created this is because it's an opportunity for other veterans who've walked those paths and found out what opportunities there are for the veteran community, and they can act as that guiding you know, comrade, battle buddy, whatever you want to call it, to help people connect to benefits. And in your case, I mean, several decades of missing out, but there's also changes in the law that made you eligible for the benefits with your time in service at Camp Lejeune.
Yes.
And so that's the other benefit of Veterans Navigation Network is you as a veteran don't necessarily have to know all of those ins and outs of the VA and those benefits and what you qualify for. Our team is really there to help take that guesswork out. You can come to us, we can do a screening and find out what benefits, both with the VA but outside of the VA. You know, there's a lot of nonprofits and other benefits that people are potentially eligible to participate in, and so we can take that guesswork out, get you connected with the organizations that are right for you, and get you going, which is what happened in your case.
Yep.
So, but it really does take the veteran making the first step, so I'm glad that you guys didn't give up and came in and saw Mike, even though we were a little dubious.
Yeah.
So, you know, since connecting with Veterans Navigation Network, you've gotten connected with benefits, which is great, but we're not the only organization you participate in. Is that right?
No, I am a member of the American Legion. I've been a member there for 54 years, as many years as I've been out. My father bought me the first one as a gift when I first got out of the military. And then I did not realize that the VFW has an auxiliary for both men and women. And so I have now been in the VFW auxiliary for a year and a half. And presently I'm even on the, not the board, but I am
One of
the
the VFW positions.
position,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's an important opportunity for that camaraderie in the VFW, American Legion, organizations like that. It's just another opportunity that's available for veterans. And, you know, you mentioned the VFW having, you know, one of the qualifications to be one of the main post members is that being a veteran of a foreign war. In your case, where you did not go to Vietnam, you were still eligible to participate in the auxiliary, which a lot of people don't know about, like you mentioned. So just another opportunity for veterans to connect and you know, meet other vets and other families of veterans. And you know, for me, transitioning out of the military, one of the things I missed the most was kind of the camaraderie you alluded to a little bit earlier with having the swimming pool, having everybody. I think you told me off air that you had like 10 people there at one time in a small little apartment, and you know, that tight-knit family with those people you serve with and their families, we miss it when we get out of the service. And so, you know, organizations like VFW, American Legion, they can provide some of that camaraderie. And there's a lot of opportunities for that camaraderie through Veterans Navigation Network as well. We do Vet Connect events and things like barbecues and opportunities like that as well. So there's a lot of opportunities for veterans in Montana. It's just a matter of knowing what's available. And like I said earlier, we try to take the guesswork out of that. And so once you got out, I mean, that several decades ago, but what's a story or what's an experience that's really stuck with you now that you've been out of the service?
Good question. I've enjoyed the opportunity to become a member of different organizations, and so that's really been really a big help for me.
Yeah. Is it that camaraderie that's been helpful, or what piece of being a member or being part of those organizations helps?
Just being a part of, and so I've been on the boards of the American Legion, now on the VFW auxiliary. We serve breakfast once a month. It's actually twice, but I'm on one of the once a month, and so it's just been good that way.
Yeah. Well, I think that's such an important part, and you know, that's something that Veterans Navigation Network can provide, is a connection to those kinds of resources. So if there's any opportunities that we talked about on the show today that you'd like to connect with as a veteran or family member of a veteran that interests you, please reach out to us at Veterans Navigation Network. You can go to our website at veteransnavigation.org or give us a call at 406-435-9308. Steve and Carol, I really want to thank you again for being on the show today and for being willing to share your story, and hopefully some other veterans get the benefits that they've earned through their service. Thank you.
Thank you.